Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Health workers from Hobart operating theatres walked off the job this morning as they continue to fight for better wages and conditions. The move meant many surgeries were delayed, and unions say there's more serious action on the cards if the government doesn't budge.
Workers from the Royal Hobart Hospital operating theatres walking off the job this morning, forcing elective surgeries to be delayed by an hour.
Across 10 theatres, that's 10 hours of operating time that has been missed today, so it's significant.
They're demanding increased pay and better conditions, saying they're at their wits' end.
It is the worst it's got. It's busier than ever and people are getting tired and burnt out.
The government says nurses are the backbone of the health service, but it's unacceptable patients are being affected by union behaviour. The unions won't be giving up their fight, with more major action threatened next year.
Theatres in the northwest of the state who have said that they will cease all elective surgery from 1 July, and these nurses may consider doing that.
The state's leaders say the 2% increase per year is reasonable, fair and affordable. But despite that, there was more action this afternoon on Parliament lawns. Hundreds turning out for the last public sector rally for the year, following a month's worth of industrial action.
22 stop work meetings involving 7 unions across the state with 6,000 public sector workers attending them. So this is not a militant minority, this is the voice of Tasmanian workers.
Correctional officers, forensic scientists and park rangers among those united in frustration.
Choosing not to pay us more than 2%, it hurts. It's almost insulting.
This firefighter says his crews are often forced to deal with medical incidents, with other emergency services backed up.
Quite clearly that's not the role we're trained to do, and of course it's putting a lot of pressure on people both mentally and physically.
Louise Hedger, 7 Tasmania News.
A jury has been dismissed in the trial of a Launceston man accused of seriously assaulting a woman in her 90s. Prosecutors allege Shane Allen Weldon assaulted the woman and another man at an Invermay property on April 9 this year. However, Justice Gregory Gearson declared a mistrial after Mr Weldon gave his evidence this morning. He will reappear in court on February 4 next year. Mona's ambitious hotel proposal has taken another step forward with a development application now lodged with the local council. David Walsh is seeking a government loan guarantee for the $400 million project, but he says it's needed to secure the long-term viability of Tasmania's acclaimed Museum of Old and New Art.
On the now famous Mona Lawns, David Walsh points out where his new project will go. The final plans released today of what some have called a shopping trolley, a 5-star hotel partly underground, partly cantilevered over the Derwent.
You know, it shouts. It shouts, I'm here, and maybe whether it has a right to be here needs to be investigated by the community, which is why I'm talking to you, I guess.
The initial name Homo has been ditched in favour of Motown, the development to include 176 hotel rooms, a 1,000-seat theatre and conference centre. It's a project David Walsh says is needed to secure Mona's long-term future.
Now I want it to survive me. How do I ensure that? You don't ensure something by having just a plan A. This is a very important plan B.
The project on this site includes space for a high-roller casino, but those plans are on the back burner. The real centrepiece, a library.
And I knew random things that proved to be useful because there was a library in Glenorchy where I was raised, and I spent a lot of time there. I spent a lot of time borrowing books, and it didn't so much change my life, it's given me the capacity to change my life.
While the $400 million project on the Berrydale site will be privately funded, Mona is in talks with the state government for a loan guarantee.
Banks won't lend you that money because they don't know that the build is necessarily going to be completed. You need some way of guaranteeing that the process will happen. That's what governments are for, as far as I'm concerned.
It's now going to council for approval and community feedback, a process that could take years. David Walsh hopes his latest creation will be open for business in 2024. Michael Breen, 7 Tasmania News.
Parents and pet owners are being warned to remain vigilant and not leave their little ones in hot cars. Animal health workers say even a short amount of time can prove fatal.
Summer's finally here, and it's prompting renewed warnings of the dangers of leaving animals and children inside cars. The RACT demonstrating it can rescue those stuck inside, but it is time critical.
There's situations around the world where it actually results in death. So it's as serious as it gets.
Temperatures within a vehicle can soar within minutes, and even if it's 20 outside, it could be 60 degrees inside a car.
And sometimes people will open the windows, or they'll open one window because they don't want their dog to get out. But without a cross breeze and without the temperature being lower and comfortable, those animals overheat.
There's been a significant increase in locked car call-outs in the past year, concerning 110 children and 128 pets.
More often a case of mistake as opposed to negligent, particularly relating to children, but perhaps there might be some complacency with pets.
The RACT says regardless of membership, they're there to help. But if you see a child or animal stuck and in distress, call 000. Louise Hedger, 7 Tasmania News.
The Launceston International will have a few extra hands to help out next year. Sport disability group New Horizons will volunteer to prepare the tennis court before matches. Today, members had a hit ahead of the week-long tournament.
We are super excited. We have some really keen tennis players, and it's just we're so honoured to be asked to be the not-for-profit partner.
The Launceston International starts on January 28. The arrival of a rare masked owl chick at a Tasmanian wildlife park has created hope for the future of the species. Staff at Wings Wildlife say they hope the newborn will raise awareness of the endangered bird.
Less than a month old, this little masked owl is a beacon of hope for the future of the species.
So a bit over a month ago, we had our first chick hatch here on site. So this is our first baby chick that's been born part of our breeding program.
Dad on the defensive, and rightfully so. The pair was bred almost a decade ago, and they've been trying for a hatchling for years.
They're soulmates, so normally with birds like this, they will find their buddy and they'll stay with them for life. She actually laid 2 eggs this year, but only one was fertile.
The species is native to Tasmania and it's endangered. It's hoped the bundle of joy will raise awareness for the plight of the species in the wild, which is in decline.
Obviously there's a lot of contributing factors to that, whether it's the mining thing and forestry, or even the like devils and quolls and the predators that can take them.
A mother can lay numerous eggs, but there are many factors that play a part in successful breeding. The park says it's hoping to hatch 2 more chicks next year.
We hope now that we know what we've done right, that we can continue to future breeding programs and allocate more aviaries to this species.
Judy Augustine, 7 Tasmania News.
There was a buzz in Launceston today, but it came from an unlikely source. These locals are warming up their vocal cords ahead of an event at the Mona Festival of Music and Art.
It's a 24-hour durational unbroken hum. So the idea is that I'll be there for 24 hours humming, and anyone can join at any time for as long as they like.
The continuous hum will start on the 19th of January in City Park's Conservatory. Charities are preparing to help support families in need this Christmas. Volunteers joined the Smith family today, packing more than 3,500 books and toys. They'll be distributed across the state for more than 700 children.
Look, I've seen myself the relief for parents, the relief on their face. You know, it's a difficult time for some families.
Family is also calling for financial donations for its annual Christmas appeal. Local scientists are calling for the public's help to save a rare Tasmanian creature. They've launched a fundraising appeal to help study and conserve the 3 species of handfish that live in our waters. It's estimated there are 1,000 spotted handfish and about 80 red handfish remaining in the wild.
They're very unique, you know, the handfish as a group. It's one of the most threatened families in the world of any vertebrate, probably. They're unique to Tasmania.
Well, we'd like Tasmanians to get involved. If they can go to handfish.org and check out all the information about these species. And if you'd like to, you can also donate there.
They're seeking up to $2 million for the conservation project.
The Hobart Hurricanes list has been finalised ahead of the BBL season, with Alex Doolan awarded the final spot in the squad. And the side will also head into their Big Bash campaign under the leadership of a new captain. It was only a couple of weeks ago that George Bailey relinquished the Tigers captaincy in the hopes of recapturing some form, with Matthew Wade stepping into the job. And today it was a case of deja vu.
He's done all formats for 7 or 8 years, so I'm guessing he would have been a bit tired and a bit over the captaincy, I suppose. So it's certainly freed him up on the ground and stuff. He's just buzzing around like he probably was 10 years ago and just enjoying his cricket, so that's good to see.
With the exception of Darcy Short and internationals Tamal Mills and Jofra Archer, the squad was on show today with the addition of their final signing, Alex Doolan, who returns in purple. And after falling just short of taking out the BBL 7 title, Wade says the club has the talent to go one better this time around, with all-rounder James Faulkner, West Australian paceman David Moody and former South African international Johan Botha now in the mix.
We'll use a couple of practice games as a good opportunity to find out our best makeup, but yeah, we've got an exciting squad again. If we can all gel together and as I said, hit our straps at the right time, then we'll be hard to beat.
The Canes season begins next Saturday night on the Gold Coast against the Brisbane Heat for their first Blunston Arena clash with the Melbourne Stars on Christmas Eve. Tasmanian-born swimming sensation Ariane Titmus has continued her meteoric rise in the sport with a blistering swim in the 200 metres freestyle final, last night's FINA World Short Course Swimming Championships in China. Trailing the USA's Mallory Comerford heading into the home turns, Titmus made her move, setting an Australian and Oceania record along the way to claim gold.
I didn't really think too much about breaking records. It was just kind of a bonus to do that. After this meet, if all goes to plan, I'll probably have a little bit of a break over Christmas, and that can be my celebration.
It's the 18-year-old's first individual world title.
Good evening. Temperatures over some parts of the state up on average by between 7 and 13 degrees. Hobart 28, Launceston 26, Burnie and Devonport cooler by comparison. Strawn, Bushy Park and Ouse all 30, Campania and Grove 28 degrees, Warra 27, King Island and Friendly Beaches recorded 23, Flinders Island and St Helens 21, Low Head 19 today. Most of the state under clear skies apart from the north and upper east, which also found some of that low cloud. Most of South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales has mid to high cloud penetrating the airspace, low cloud over southern WA and cloud from the tropical low over the far north. Now tomorrow's chart shows low pressure zones and also that severe tropical cyclone Owen over the Gulf of Carpentaria, that cold front and low right over Tasmania. The winds east northeasterly at 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots over the northwest and southeast early, and then prevailing at that strength over northern waters later. A strong wind warning for coastal waters between Sandy Cape and St Helens Point, and from Wineglass Bay to southeast Cape. Things changing a little bit tomorrow, a little bit cooler for Hobart, 24 the top with a cloudy day, partly cloudy for Cygnet, 24 and 26 for New Norfolk. Launceston expecting 24 degrees with rain at times. Rain and an afternoon storm maybe for Devonport, 21 the high and 23 for Campbelltown. Burnie a top of 20 degrees, rain and a possible storm, 26 for Strawn with that same sort of forecast, and same again for Smithton, a cooler day, 21. 20 the high for St Helens with some wet weather, Swansea rain at times and 20 as well, 19 the top for Fingal. The UV, extreme, so don't forget to protect the eyes as well under the extreme UV. On to the next couple of days, and the rain will continue into Friday with some more heavy falls right across the north and east of the state. Into Saturday again, rain easing to showers, and Swansea getting to 19 degrees with plenty of rain along the east coast. And also on Sunday, rain easing to showers, but that'll be later in the afternoon. Sunny in Perth tomorrow, a windy, colder day in Adelaide. Rain and storms forecast for Melbourne and Sydney. Late showers in Sydney as well. The only other sunshine over Alice Springs and Broome. Still plenty of sunshine here, 25 degrees in Hobart, 22 in Launceston, bit of cloud over Devonport but fine, and 18 degrees. I don't know how you got through the news tonight, Joe, after you found out that the price of cask wine is going up.
Yes, be still my beating heart. All right, thank you very much, Merv. It's all from the team for now. We'll see you a little later. Bye-bye.